Let's talk about the great American automobile, a symbol of freedom and power. In late 2024, the Trump administration tried to protect this icon with a 10% tariff on all imports, hoping to boost Detroit's automakers. But reality hit hard. Ford's sales dropped 4%, GM's by 3%, while Toyota's US sales soared 13%. The policy meant to help Detroit instead handed Toyota a massive win, boosting its market share to 26.5%. The plan backfired spectacularly, tilting the playing field in Toyota's favor. Instead of a Detroit comeback, the tariffs crowned Toyota king of the US market. How did a policy meant to help American companies end up hurting them? It's a story of supply chains, sticker prices, and the brutal math of unintended consequences. The logic behind the tariff seems straightforward. Make imports pricier, give American companies an edge, and push foreign firms to build in the US. But the auto industry isn't local anymore. Modern cars are built from parts sourced worldwide. The 10% tariff hit not just finished Toyota's but also Ford's engine blocks from Mexico and GM's wiring from Asia. Detroit's costs shot up, forcing them to choose between shrinking profits or higher prices for buyers. Meanwhile, Toyota had spent decades localizing production, building plants and supplier networks across the US. When tariffs hit, Toyota's costs barely budged, while Detroit soared. The protection became a trap, hurting the very companies it was meant to help. Toyota's long-term strategy paid off. They'd already built a tunnel under the tariff wall. Detroit was caught off guard, stuck with global supply chains and rising costs. The result? Toyota was ready. Detroit was scrambling. The tariff was a cluster bomb, not a sniper shot. In the end, Toyota's local investment made all the difference. The game had changed, and Detroit was playing by old rules. Toyota's secret? The three-ring convergence strategy. First ring, US assembly plants, second major suppliers nearby, third smaller parts makers all local. By 2025, over 70% of Toyota's key components were made in America. When tariffs hit, Toyota's costs barely moved, while Detroit's soared. For a Toyota hybrid, tariffs added just 3.5% to a key component. For Ford, it was 9% on engine blocks. That meant an $800 price advantage for Toyota before the car even left the factory. Multiply that by hundreds of thousands of cars, and Detroit was bleeding cash. Toyota's supply chain was cheaper, faster, and more resilient. While Detroit struggled with delays and costs, Toyota's US network kept humming. Their edge wasn't magic, just smart, patient planning. In a crisis, Toyota's fortress held strong. Tariffs forced Detroit to raise prices. GM by 11%, Ford by 9.5%, Stellantis by 12%. Toyota, with its local supply chain, kept increases to just 6%. That difference was huge. A Chevy Equinox jumped nearly $5,000, while a Toyota RAV4 rose only $2,700. Suddenly, American brands were thousands more expensive than Toyota. The price gap pushed buyers straight to Toyota dealerships. Tariffs meant to help Detroit handed Toyota a massive price advantage. Brand loyalty faded, household budgets ruled. Detroit bet Americans would pay more for made in USA, but most couldn't afford it. The result? Toyota won by knockout. The market shifted overnight. Detroit's gamble backfired. Price, not patriotism, decided the winner. Toyota's restraint paid off. For most Americans, the monthly payment is what matters. High interest rates and Detroit's price hikes made payments skyrocket. A third of buyers who switched brands cited lower monthly payments as the reason. Half chose Toyota or Lexus. Toyota's smaller price hikes meant payments were $200, $300 less per month than Ford or GM. Even financing was cheaper. Ford credits rates rose while Toyota kept theirs low. The result? Toyota buyers saved money every month and ended up with more equity. Ford's loan delinquencies hit 3.4%, while Toyota's stayed at 1.8%. The message was clear: in tough times, affordability wins. Toyota's smart pricing and financing drew in cost-conscious buyers. Detroit's customers struggled to keep up. Toyota's advantage was both immediate and lasting. The exodus was on. The next blow, a 40% tariff on Chinese-made LFP batteries in March 2025. Ford and GM relied on these for affordable EVs. Suddenly, their costs soared. Toyota, meanwhile, had built a battery megafactory in Kansas with Panasonic, using mostly US and Japanese content. Their batteries were tariff-proof. Detroit's EV prices jumped $2,000, $3,000 overnight. Toyota's stayed stable. The EV market tilted sharply. Toyota's RAV4 Prime set sales records, while Ford's plug-in hybrid lagged. Detroit's affordable EV plans collapsed. Toyota's foresight paid off, again. The battery battle was over before it began. Toyota's local investment won the day. The fallout hit Wall Street fast. Toyota's stock soared to record highs as sales and profits surged. GM, Ford, and Stellantis stocks fell 5–8%, a clear vote of no confidence. Toyota's market cap ballooned to $315 billion. Detroit's combined value shrank to $160 billion. GM's cash reserves dwindled, while Toyota's grew to $45 billion. Investors saw Toyota as the safe bet, Detroit as a risky gamble. With more cash and a higher stock price, Toyota could invest in new tech and better deals for buyers. Detroit was forced to cut costs and lobby for help. Wall Street wasn't just reacting, it was shaping the future. The financial gap widened, fueling Toyota's momentum. Detroit was stuck in a defensive crouch. The market had chosen its winner. The real pain hit American workers and suppliers. As Detroit cut production, small suppliers in the Midwest saw orders drop 15–20%. Layoffs followed, hitting the very workers tariffs were meant to protect. The industry split. Toyota's U.S. suppliers thrived. Detroit struggled. Even after sales service suffered, Detroit's parts delays frustrated customers and hurt dealerships. Toyota's efficient network kept repairs quick and jobs stable. A J.D. Power report showed over half of consumers trusted Toyota most in a tariff world. Detroit's reputation and reliability took a hit. The tariffs eroded trust and jobs. The policy's unintended victims were American workers. By July 4, 2025, the tariff plan was a clear failure. Detroit was weaker, Toyota stronger, and the U.S. auto trade deficit had grown. Protectionism backfired in a globalized industry. Toyota, a Japanese company, won by investing in American factories and workers. Detroit, reliant on global supply chains, was left scrambling. Now Detroit is lobbying for subsidies and considering risky moves like expanding in Mexico. Meanwhile, Toyota's long-term strategy keeps paying off. The lesson: you can't build a resilient industry with slogans and tariffs. It takes decades of investment and smart planning. Toyota understood this, and thrived. The tariffs meant to shield Detroit became the wind at Toyota's back.